Hey my horsey friends, this week I'll introduce you to my new horse Phantom and assess her personality, training level, and soundness to establish a baseline.
Here she is, meet Phantom Power. She's a 5-year-old thoroughbred mare who retired from her racing career as a 3-year-old. During her 4 and early 5-year-old years, she had a foal, and I picked her up January 4th to be my new training project. Possibly could be my horse, possibly a horse that down the road I find a really good home for her. I was a little bit crazy and I bought her off this video, guys. I liked her conformation, she's really uphill, her proportions look good, and of course she's flashy in color. And then I saw this video and her movement looked so free. I was thinking, oh gosh, this is so good. So I made a 4-hour drive down, picked her up on this day. It was so cold. This is all we did to pre-purchase, oh yeah, she's still trotting good-ish, kind of. But yeah, when I brought her home, I found some problems, which I'll explain in a minute.
She was a very good girl, didn't know how to get off the horse trailer, so we actually turned her around. And she's in my humongous horse blankets for the night. But she's a good girl, and she's being very, very well behaved for a new property.
I debated back and forth whether or not I would put Phantom directly in with what will be her new herd mates or put her in the pen beside. I ultimately decided I'll just put her in with the herd. I know these horses, they're fairly reasonable, not overly aggressive, and I knew that Phantom was in the middle of the totem pole, so she probably wouldn't try to pick fights. I stuck around for a little bit and I actually guarded the perimeter and made sure she knew where all the fences were. I watched their interactions and they looked reasonable. So I decided this would be the best thing for her tonight, and she'd probably be less stressed if she had a herd in this really cold weather new facility versus really being upset and by herself and possibly trying to jump a fence.
This is a good sign. Standing at the bale, snacking already. Phantom already is accepted enough that she can eat the bale. So now we'll catch her and bring her in. What do you think of your new home, Phantom? So I was watching her walk. There's definitely twisting in the hocks.
I didn't notice this when I was picking her up because this is a problem that's actually made worse by soft footing. So in the sand, the outward rotation of the hock is pronounced. And so I didn't notice because we just trotted her on a hard, icy road. It was -30. Put her in the trailer, took her home in the middle of the night, and now I see this. In this short little time with Phantom, what have I learned? She just kind of led me around the arena. I kind of just let her explore, not really getting into anything. She came in here really nicely, walked over some poles, went up to the Christmas trees in there, and didn't mind them too much. She's kind of amped up now that I've tied her because I was allowing her to move, and that really did help her just kind of settle. For, of course, a horse with a little formal education, just really nice handling. Tomorrow will be more formal, but I think she's got a pretty gentle personality from what I see. Baseline is that she had a little bit of that poke to the left front on the fetlock there. The other little issue I found when I did purchase her was a cut to the inside of her left fetlock, which was new that day when I went to pick her up, and she did look a little sore on it, but the cut looked small that I didn't think it was something to worry about. So just keep that in mind that she does have a cut there. And I'm just feeling along her right now, and everything is super tense. All of her muscles are super tense. And then I'm just gonna point out again, the hock. I knew that this hock had been pin fired before the previous owner bought her, so it was pin fired before this horse had a racing career, and I figured it's cold, it's old, it shouldn't bother her. But that is the leg that I just discovered she also twists on, guys. So now this horse is turning not only into a training project, but also probably a rehab project. So I just pause here just so you can really see the pin firing. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of research to figure out what this means, and I will explain more as we proceed through the video. Now I'm just gonna quickly show you a hind end shot so you can also see that she is base narrow, which means that her feet are closer together than the top of her legs, and then as you go up into the pelvis. This can be something they're born with, like their conformation, but oftentimes it's just the way they stand and their posture, which means it can be corrected. Now this is something new I noticed today. She must have bumped or twisted it while playing with her herd mates. I was worried that I had missed it when I went and bought her, and I was like, great, now she's got more things. But after reviewing the footage, I realized that it was new, and within a week, it was gone. Okay, so that concludes my baseline. I recommend you do this with every new horse you get. Figure out, like, okay, what are all the things they've come with? Take some pictures of them so you know their body condition, their posture, and then it is fascinating to see how those horses change in 6 months. The next thing I like to check is where is she holding tension. So I glide my hand gently along her body from head to tail and just look for her to show signs of being uncomfortable, which could be all like, she's generally uncomfortable. Like, look at how much she's moving and swinging around. So I know that in general, her whole body's tense, but the most reaction I get is in the pole. She really tries to avoid me there. So I'm gonna go more into that. But I went a little further yet, because you can see that she's also like she's smart, and she's like, I'll just put my head down, and the person goes away. So I want her to like, yes, you can put your head down, but let's go one step further and actually get some relaxation from that. Even like the scratching of the nose and all these things, like it's kind of her working through what she's feeling right now. There we go. So I'm just gonna stay here and like see that she's going through a lot of feelings are going through her body right now. And so I'm just gonna watch for just a sign that her awareness goes back to herself here. There, even just that little dip. But then she's out again, right? You can see that she's like here and then gone again. Okay, I'm not gonna go much further than that. Usually you go down to the floor, but just because she's like, you know, a little bit this way, I don't really wanna have my head down by the floor. Well, now she might be a little more settled. Now that she's got a friend.
Here she's having a little spook at the blankets in the corner. Horses are prey animals and new things can be scary.
Oh, she's like, oh my goodness. Yesterday, the blankets weren't there.
This is terrifying.
Yeah, this is terrifying. Yeah. Yeah, because I brought her in here yesterday. I just kind of let her like look around, and she definitely like noticed all this, but these blankets weren't here.
At this point, I changed my technique and thought, okay, let's just let her walk around. She needs to decompress. I was trying to work on her right side, go through her body, see where she's tight, you know, bring the awareness to those parts and see if she was ready to release them, but she was too distracted. So I thought, let's just walk around, let her have a look. Here I'm noting how curious she is, which I really appreciate.
I'm gonna take off the worry of her having to like navigate the area, and I'm just gonna say, I'll be the one in front, and you stay back there. That's your one job. We have a baseline of like how she leads, right? Like she doesn't really know like that. Like I'm not her leader, I guess. Like I haven't proven myself as a leader to her. She doesn't trust me. She doesn't know me, but she's curious, and she's eating it. And she's cruising around, taking a look at things. But like I am kind of nothing to her right now, right? I'm not providing any comfort, but neither am I providing discomfort. So I want to like start to take on the leadership position so that she doesn't feel like she has to, and so that she feels more confident and comfortable because now I've got her. So this is the very starting thing that I do. Is just showing them how to lead. Okay, so she's gonna end up going backwards a lot, so just careful. Okay, so I'm gonna start here, and I'm just gonna back her up. And I'm just gonna put attention on the space, because now her one job, rather than making sure she stays alive, because that's a big job, her one job is just monitor this space between us. So now I'm gonna walk, and guaranteed she's gonna pass me at some point. So about here, right? Monitor that space. And then going on. So now this is all I'm gonna do. So we're gonna just cruise around. She's gonna start looking out over there. Monitor the space. So I'm not like directing my energy at her. I'm directing it at the space that that I want her to be aware of. So she's starting to creep up on me a little bit. There, oh good. And I like now how she's like, oh, there's something about this space, right? Oh, except for that was her that initiated the walk and not me. So I'm just gonna sit here. Like there's something about this space you gotta pay attention. Ah, yes. But so see how her attention is out of the barn? So this is a way to bring her attention into the barn and into her body. Good, but that's the idea. But also, like, I didn't initiate the walk. Because right now all she's known is that phantom takes care of phantom. Ah, that was better. Slowly. There, she mimicked me a little better, right? That was better. Good girl. And now we can slow.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Way better, hey? So now, and this is where the horse will start to feel more comfortable. Because she's like, oh, that girl's got me. I don't have to have my radar out. Ah.
That was 10 out of 10, man. That was gorgeous.
Good. And I'm gonna walk when the head lowers too, because I want to encourage, I've heard it called the yes posture, the more like this posture.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, that was on me. Shara dropped the rope and she stepped on it. She didn't have a panic. Good girl. Good. So I want to encourage that yes posture versus the head up and tense posture, right? So this is better. This running. And I walk real slow.
Oh, so good. Almost,
right? But like so then my correction's very soft there. Cause it's just, oh yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. And then eventually the horse will actually learn to stand still, right? Cause she's not so anxious. So I'm gonna wait for her awareness to come back to her and then we'll walk. So sometimes too, you can just bring like awareness by touching them a little bit there. Good, and then taking the time to walk through an entranceway, right? Because a lot of horses are like, I gotta get out of here. Rush. I'm almost home. I'm almost where I want to be. So yeah, no, we're not taking that inside corner. Yeah. Okay. She would like to just lead me on out. Ah, good girl. This is good. Now you're staying at my creeper pace. Hey!
Keeping it simple today, I started with allowing her to investigate the spooky corner. And I love when a horse takes you to something that could be spooky. If you can allow the horse to have curiosity, they're going to be so much more confident in the end. After that, we went through reminding, okay, this is how we lead, watch the space, good, check. Once she had that, the next step is to teach her better balance, which includes widening her base of support and opening up her stance so that she can use all four legs evenly to support herself. By moving her sideways, I show her how to use her diagonal pairs of legs to coordinate in this situation. Balance provides horses with confidence in unknown situations.
Girl. And then you see the pole reactivity? Good. So I'm just trying to bring her awareness to it and just allow her to relax, but not try to get away. You can see she's trying to move away from it. And
Whoa. I need to stop here because there's something really cool going on here. Since we're on the topic of creating balance and reducing tension to help a horse have more confidence, check out her balance in this shot here. Look at how her sternum is pushing down and forward, and note how her legs are really close together. Both of those postures indicate lack of balance and a tendency to push forward and down through the sternum. Any horse that's pushing forward and down feels like they're like running down a hill out of control. Now imagine you're in that situation and you have to fight for your life. You would feel so like put on the back foot because you don't have control of your own body because you're catapulting down a hill out of control. This is how a horse feels when they don't have balance, when they have tension in their body. They feel as though they cannot respond to the surrounding stimulus, and therefore they just panic. If I can train a horse how to organize their body, then in scary situations, they're less likely to panic because they feel they have control.
We'll keep going. I think today was really good. Pole and sacrum, those are going to be the target areas to help her learn to release tension, and we're going to build strength. Definitely in that hind end. She's actually pretty good at coordinating her footwork in comparison to what I've seen, I guess, with horses that have had no work. But still, like, you can see the buckling and stuff. So just weakness. So I like that she's actually standing here and just yawning and releasing. This is really good. Like, this has come a long way. So to start, I was just going to just kind of do a little pole stretch. You can see already the worry, the resistance. So just a little. And yeah, so moving away has been kind of her answer to this. And I might not be able to do that pole stretch, which is okay. I just wanted to see where we could go. So maybe if that's not going to be the thing for us today, then I think I want to just work with picking up her legs and then seeing if I can get some relaxation that way.
I spent about 20 minutes picking up each of her legs, stretching them, helping her learn where to relax and how to balance in a better way.
There's definitely some twitching happening in here. I'll see if I can just do little wiggles. There, yeah. Every time I've come up to the triceps, she's got a little kind of twitching to the muscles. A little bit just getting hard as it comes closer to the ground. There we go. And then you can see her tendency is to walk out of it.
I was able to capture a really cool visual display of how much her pelvis moves when I pick up her right hind leg. We all know that the left hind is the twisting one. Look at how much that pelvis swings.
This tells me a lot of the problem is coming from the pelvis.
I lifted the right hind. I also pulled on the tail a little bit to the right because she wants to like lean out through the left hind and like twist it. So I'm trying to get her to like maybe use a little more stabilizers to keep that left hind under her, which I'm gonna do one more time. Yes. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but there's a lot better stabilization of the left hind.
Here I'm able to prevent the rotation on her left leg by simply stabilizing her pelvis while I lift her right. This provides me hope, because if I can recreate it in an artificial environment, I think by training the proper muscles, she'll be able to stabilize on her own in the next few months.
Having heightened her awareness of her lack of stability, I move her into some side-to-side patterns to practice.
You can see she's really stuck on this side. Yes. Just opening up that front end, getting her a little more stable, because she's like hypermobile in the hind end essentially. So I think I'm gonna really focus on getting the front end looser, better base of support, and then later we'll go to like getting more lateral movement out of the hind end when she's more stable.
Thank you folks for watching. That wraps up 1 week of training. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but this is setting a solid foundation for this horse to be so happy in her new life. I have a baseline on her. I understand a lot about her personality, and now I have a training plan for her going forward. I hope to see you all next week, and we'll find out more about Phantom.